Personal milestone.
Personal milestones.
They're important at times. Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us on the Sports Today Dugout. It's a fresh day. We've got fresh news, fresh off the oven, some of them. Shashwat's very thrilled because the interview, which you would have seen by now, we teased it yesterday as well. It took us a while to get things in order and plenty of talking points from there. Shashwat feels he's done a very good job because of the comments that you've
When
given
does
him.
he feel he's not done a good job?
No, this time he says that it's come from the family members.
I
So
haven't said any of this.
he was
But
telling
yeah.
me, but he's a humble fellow, so he won't admit it in front of camera. So he was very pleased with the service.
International cricketers are usually humble.
That they are. So yeah, Shashwat is pleased with his effort. Family members have approved of the interview that he did with Mohammad Shami. And yeah, it made it to the papers as well. Not just Shashwat's bit, but yeah, Mohammad Shami got a lot of coverage in today's papers as well. He certainly is the top
He's
of the
everywhere
town.
on PTI, on ANI, on IANS and
INS.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
He was trending yesterday, just after the interview till today morning.
Wow.
Yeah, which is why some of our videos today carried Shami tags.
Mr. Pavan at work.
He's off today.
Has the entire team now reached Pune?
Yeah.
Everyone?
No more batches.
Yeah, Rishabh Pant also has reached. Everyone has reached.
Speaking of fun, there were question marks on yesterday's dugout with regards to his availability. Now, a couple of credible reports suggesting that he's been given the go-ahead.
Pant has slight issue in his still knee, some movement related issues, but then Ryan Descartes has confirmed that he will be there for the second test.
That puts an end to all your conspiracy theories.
And so will be Shubman Gill. He is
Not
fit
that
and ready.
both-
Now new conspiracy theories can start, na?
But where's the room then?
Now.
But he
The
had
room?
some
That's the whole conspiracy.
but he
na,
had
that
some
there is no
interesting
room.
things to say
Is there
about
room?
KL Rahul.
That there's no room. That's the whole point of many more conspiracies.
One by one we'll go na. I personally very disappointed that Virat Kohli took a flight from Bombay to go to Pune.
I was thinking exactly this while I was putting
Porsche
that.
is in Gurgaon, na?
He has a fancy Mercedes with which he went to the airport.
Exactly.
He could have used that same to reach
I
Pune.
was
It's
thinking-
quicker.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly this while I was putting that visual up on sports.
So
Today
he
today.
would have taken from South Bombay to get to the airport 1 hour. Then 1 hour in the airport, even if you're taken through whatever Green Channel, wherever easily, by the time you are taken in security check, you're made to sit also, whatever, 10-15 minutes in the lounge and then you're taken. 1 hour there, 2 hours. Then a half-hour flight, 2.5 hours. Then getting out of the airport, half hour, 3 hours. From the airport to where his hotel is 1 hour. How many hours?
3.5.
Another
Four.
You're saying it's on the
3
outskirts,
plus 1.
man.
4 hours. 4 hours he's taken. If he had sat in his car, that fancy car from his house in South Bombay, he would have reached his hotel in flat 3 hours.
Robo.
Flat 3 hours, door to door.
It's the same, so because I've
And
never
you would have no
travelled to-
inconvenience of getting selfies there. People who are haunting him for selfies. Even the security guard in a
Yeah,
safari
I saw
suit
it.
is getting one selfie with him. No hassles. No
Right,
hassles.
right.
Go in your
The
car.
grey safari suit, I think it's never changed. It's never
Yeah,
got
it's
out of fashion.
No upgrade
Evergreen.
for a thing. So
it
that
used to be the sign of a security personnel in pre-independence time, post-independence time, pre-2000s,
No, now
post-2000s.
Big people security guards just wear black outfits.
Arey, but they were big people security
That's
guard
a-
only
the
today.
bouncers
I
and
think he wasn't Virat's, na? He was
Not Virat's.
hotel.
But it was.
but whoever's this, what his point is
Yeah.
that we don't want to get on the nitty gritties of that.
Of what they
Understand the point that they are still wearing it. Okay, so what is the news of Rishabh Pant is in and
Shubman Gill.
Shubman Gill is in. No surprise there. Yes, what is the update about KL Rahul? You mentioned
He
it.
said that KL Rahul, I had a chat with him. He's in a good mental space. Some obvious quotes. But then he said that we want to give him a longer rope, just like a certain Sanju Samson is given in T20s. Gautam Gambhir,
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Gautam Gambhir believes in backing players.
That's exactly what he said. He took the.
But
reverse
has
century.
Sanju got a very long rope in
Now,
T20?
I think they're referring to now since they have come into the management, beat
Acha.
the World Cup, and then there were questions over him. He scored a century, even though there were many questions on him. So I think he's referring to that. I don't think it's. I think that's exactly what he's.
So effectively, basic KL is playing.
Yeah.
But I read somewhere where he also said that there's no denying the fact that there is a fight between
Yeah,
Sarfraz
yeah.
and KL.
That's what he said.
For the slot. That also he accepted.
Yeah.
He said no point beating around the bush by saying, oh, there is no competition. But also he's given in a idea or a clue that KL is playing in Pune, right?
Yeah.
Unless
Is Sarfaraz going to be available for the next test match?
the
He's just had a child now, so maybe he wants to spend some.
No,
family
there isn't
time.
any report that
Yeah, there's
he
no
would
reports. I'm
not
just
be available.
asking. Could that be a possibility?
No, I don't think so. He was there at the birth of his child. Lucky enough, imagine exactly in the middle of 2 test matches, could be there. What a great day for anyone. Yeah, many congratulations to. I mean, as a father, I can say it was the greatest day of my life. You know, when you become a dad, so fantastic, yeah, to Sarfraz. But will he play or not? We'll get to know. In a day or two, but he should join the squad back. What is
No,
the?
or maybe if he knows that he's not going to be part of the 11, it's better to say that I'm not available for the test match altogether.
But till
How
the
can
morning
he
of the
take that
match, you
call,
won't
yeah?
know that.
No. Maybe if that the team also wants, because it's an easy escape, to justify that Sarfaraz.
No, he
is
won't
not
say,
in the
don't
11."
take me because I'm on
He
family
won't
duties.
say. No, I'm not saying he won't. He won't say. Maybe the team management would tell him that maybe
No,
you should
spend time at home.
Spend time at home. Yeah, that's what.
Achha, you're saying this is the new
Yeah.
side
You
string.
can still
Yeah.
take a
So this is-
paternity leave.
Exactly.
So
Paternity leave.
No.
Maternity
on
leave.
the
But-
pretext of the birth of his
No,
child.
but
you
why? What is the? That's why I said yesterday there was a question which said that now what injury will happen to Sarfraz on the eve of the game? But as I said, those injuries happen when you're going to drop a player who's already part of the team, and especially if it is an established player, then that injury thing comes in. For a player who has been in and out, I don't think you need the injury thing. Then you obviously say this, that listen, he's doing very well, he's the one for the future, we are going to give him many more chances. But right now we are backing XYZ player.
Yeah.
So then they don't have to give a side strain or look at any other example. Side strain excuse could come if you're dropping.
KL.
Yes.
No, but for Sarfaraz also there
Because
are
of a
already-
history of side strain.
There would be
No, but generally.
there would be many questions over the fact if Sarfaraz doesn't play. So wouldn't it be better if he's not playing, just to convey it to him already, so that he can stay with his family and spend some time with his newborn child? It's better, right? And also it's easier to say it out also later.
No,
on that
saying I'd say again,
Yeah,
that's all
saying isn't that big an
semantics.
issue, but
How does
still.
that matter? You don't have to bother about saying or whatever. Yeah, you could allow him once the test match starts. Sometime you allow a play, but I don't know. In this case, I do not see, unless Sarfraz himself puts in a request, because there have been times there are players who've even missed their child's birth when they are on assignment.
Yeah.
MS Dhoni is an example, but that's not to say that there's anything right or wrong.
It's personal.
But yeah, there are some who miss series also, so it's a personal choice. But there's, as I said, it's an individual to individual, and BCCI is that way accommodating. But in Sarfraz's case, if he wants to play, he may say that no, I want to throw my hat into the ring. If you are looking at me for being playing in the next test match, why should he miss that opportunity? But as soon as he decides, no, I'm going to spend time, so then that debate is only over.
True.
So he might as well go there, be there, practice, get ready. If he comes in, great. If he does not, then that's another.
But because I can't comment on that feeling of being a father, I think
You
the
can
other-
from the outside.
No, I'm just saying.
Hey, you
if you having covered this,
Has he
sport-
played test match cricket? But he comments, no, if there is an issue. So you don't have to be a dad to not comment.
But I'm not Shashwat either, na. But my
No, but
point-
he has. in all
But my
honesty.
point being, if you look at that fatherly aspect of things as well, and it's extremely emotional for an individual. That number one. But number two, I think his first love still remains cricket.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm Sarfaraz right now, yes, I'm happy with what I'm experiencing both in my professional and personal life. But I know a decision needs to be taken, and if I know that putting in a request, these are moments that make or break careers at times. You want to be after a 150. Do I want to really put in this request and be off the scene? This is my time to probably cash in. you do go through these thoughts, right? And it's only fair that he would feel that no, I cannot miss this ship. This is my moment to be with the team. So nothing wrong and right over there. He's absolutely right to be thinking, no, I need to rejoin with the team.
And he's never going to do that. He's really earned these opportunities after very, very long time, after doing a lot. I don't think be it anything, he would let go of these opportunities.
Now, why were you saying so much?
I'm just talking in the perspective of the team in that sense. It's easier to, sort of tell the people, what if KL Sarfaraz is there with the team, KL fails again, then the first question would be where was Sarfaraz? Why isn't he playing? So it's better to say that he's spending time with his family.
And above everything, family support matters the most. If his parents would have told him that we'll take care of everything, you just go out there and play.
Parents, so
I think that's pretty much sorted.
Okay, also in the midst of the test series, which we did spend a lot of time talking about yesterday, there is also the announcement of the India A squad. And while that is now well known, everyone knows about that India A squad, and there has been a lot of discussion over who comes in or who goes out. We thought we'll extend that argument and look at India's likely Border Gavaskar Trophy squad and whether this India A squad, which is for the Australia versus India A series to be played before the Border Gavaskar Trophy starts, does this give you an indication as to what could be India's BGT squad like? Are there any indicators in this squad? Anything that you are reading, learning from this squad? Who wants to go first?
I think absolutely.
Okay.
Because
Lati goes first.
yeah.
What is the first indication you're getting?
See, about 14 or 15 players select themselves for the Border Gavaskar Trophy, barring any injuries. So
and none of those 14 and 15
none of
are
those
here.
14 are a part of this India A squad. So
Yeah.
what this means is that a few players, I'll just give an example. There's a Gaikwad, Sudarshan, Ishan Kishan for that matter. Hopefully he's back in the reckoning. Then Navdeep Saini, Yash Dayal. I think they are auditioning for the remainder of the 2 or 3 slots, assuming that India go in with a 17 or an 18 member squad. So definitely I think this, a few of the players would definitely want to perform well and make sure that they get selected for the BGT, because this is just my gut feeling that the selectors would announce a 15 member squad and later they would say that the remaining 2 players or the 3 players would be selected after the completion of the India A and Australia A games that begin on October
but
31st.
that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
The India squad will be announced before even the squad matches start.
More than likely.
Yeah. I think in a couple of weeks you will have the
31st October is when the India A game is starting.
Yes,
And they are
so-
ending on 10th of November.
Yes, so if your first test match is in mid November,
22nd.
you have to have the squad announced before that. So I
Yeah.
think the next couple of weeks maybe there's a good chance, or maybe they would have played a 2-day, 3-day, whatever. I don't
It
know.
would be after the first India A Australia game,
No,
which
but
ends
anyways,
on.
they will be there only with the Indian team because they're supposed to play that Perth warm-up
No, but
games.
that is
Yeah.
after their 2
Yeah,
games. No?
after they do, but they can add on according
Correct.
to that. I wouldn't be
No,
surprised.
but I'm saying that firstly the India squad is going to be announced now. So whether it is a 15 members, 16 members, 17 member squad, whatever the squad may be, how much will the performances of these players in those A games help them get selected?
I'd never. It's really good that the India A tours have again started for a very long time in between. There were no India A tours in that sense. So it's really nice. It definitely gives exposure to players. But I personally don't think there is any sort of reflection that we would see in the India squad for that test series. It would be just one name at the max, being maybe Ruturaj Gaikwad, being that backup opener. I think even if he doesn't perform in the 2 test matches that India A is playing, that is also not going to impact much, because we have seen all throughout the years. Bowlers definitely, you might have a Yash Dayal stay back or a Navdeep Saini, Khalil, Mukesh. A few of them might
No,
stay
but
back.
how many will stay back? Yeah.
As net bowlers.
No, I'm not talking about net bowlers.
Yeah,
Again,
in the
I'm
squad.
clarifying. I'm talking about squad.
Nobody.
I feel that there's going to be an audition for 3 places.
Okay,
Number
let's
one,
break it down.
Let's break it down. Number 1 is backup opener. You already have Jaiswal and Rohit Sharma. So the position for the backup opener is going to be a fight between Gaikwad, Ishwaran, Sudarshan and Devdutt Padikkal.
Okay.
No, not for. I don't
Okay.
think there's going to be a fight for that backup opening option. I think it's straightforward going to be Ruturaj Gaikwad because of the reason how the team has been actually backing Ruturaj Gaikwad in the white ball format, and a very big reason to send him here is also that this clearly means he won't be available for the South Africa T20Is. So that means the Indian team wants Ruturaj to be there in Australia, spend some time, because if by chance, as per reports, Rohit is not available, Ruturaj would be that backup opener. Even if in the practice games Ruturaj doesn't score runs and you say Sudarshan gets those runs, Ishwaran gets those runs, still I think it's going to be
No, so
Ruturaj.
you are saying, but then that's what I asked. What is the India A squad telling you? So to you, you said it's not telling you anything, but to you it is telling you that Ruturaj will make it to the squad.
That is irrespective of the
No,
India.
no,
Yeah.
but the fact you said, no, the fact that he's captain, the way you're positioning him, and the fact that he's India A captain, the fact that he's not going to South Africa, you just pointed out. So that in itself is an indication to you, right or wrong, that's another debate, but it's an indication to you that this squad is telling you that Ruturaj Gaikwad is your third opener. So that's the other thing that he's reading. Gulati reads that there is going to be a fight, and that maybe you would have had squeezed in one game before the team is announced. Maybe you feel
absolutely.
like that. Okay.
Just the one thing I want to add to what Shashwat was saying. I do feel the one contradiction I have is I believe there's a contest between Rutu and Ishwaran. Why I say that is, we've seen in the past when it comes to touring outside, you look for players, you've gone back to players who have had more experience playing in overseas conditions. Now I know that's not the case between these two, but what is a differentiator is the amount of experience that an Ishwaran has playing red ball cricket. Now if runs are, let's say, 50-50, if I see this situation as a 50-50 between these two, there's been a lot of clamour to have an Ishwaran in the side. It's not happened year after year. If it's the same number of runs, let's say that the both of them score, so 50-50 that ways, that both of them score the same amount of runs, let's say 10 or 20 runs here and there is the difference, and that makes it a 50-50 situation. Then you need to take a call. I think in that situation though, Gaikwad gets the nod ahead of an Ishwaran. However,
So you're giving Gaikwad a slight edge, but you still think competition is on.
competition is on. If Ishwaran gets 100, Gaikwad gets a 40-50, let's say. I think Ishwaran gets the nod.
You know-
However, if it's a 10-20 run difference, because there is leadership you see in Gaikwad and you see it across formats. This is again, let's not forget what happened last year. You played the Asian Games. He was the one leading the team, and he time and time again in your series, I think Zimbabwe as well, he was leading. So you do see him part of the young leadership group going forward. You want to be grooming Gaikwad. So 50-50, I think he gets the
I
nod.
remember the 2018 England.
Shivam, can you show us the current squad as well?
I remember the 2018. I'm not too sure. It was the 2018 England tour where you played the 5 Test matches. There, Abhimanyu Ishwaran was with the team. He was that
Yeah.
backup opener.
He was.
There was this KL Rahul, I think, got hit on the helmet. So some opener was about to get out of that series. So the Indian management specially
You're
flew
talking
in
about
Prithvi Shaw.
2021.
They specially flew in Prithvi Shaw as a backup opener, even though
Yeah, yeah.
Ishwaran was there.
Yes,
So
yes.
Ishwaran, I see again.
No, but that's a different time,
No,
na.
but again, when he's come so close to that Indian team, he hasn't been given that opportunity. till now.
But that is no point is valid. But Shivam, can I see the current squad, please? Current squad of Acha. This is the current. I'm saying if like a player has not been given, and I know that was rather unfair on him, but that does not necessarily mean that it can
The door's
go,
shut.
yeah, the door is completely shut. If it was, then you would not even have him in contention going forward from here. My take on all of this is, and I'm just sticking to the opener, I kind of get a feeling that they've been selected for India A just for exposure, and you may not even go for a backup opener. I think you make your backup opener in case, if need be, on that occasion that Rohit Sharma is expected to miss the game. You may even have a Shubman then step up and open the innings.
Then
I'm just
number
wondering-
three would
I'm just
come.
wondering, given how things panned out in the Bangalore test, where a number 4 was made to play at number 3, and we have seen how, Shubman Gill also, between 1 and 2, the change that he's made, things haven't really worked out well. I'm not sure, because between 2 and 3, because that tuning has firstly taken time for Gill, and it's not been an easy tuning for him to shift from 1-2 to number 3 now. to send him back, I'm not sure
See, I'll
because
tell
if
you why.
he has enough. Yes, he did well in the England series, but
I'll
consistency
tell you why I'm saying
still
that.
sort
No,
of
but
evades
I'm
him.
not looking at, see, why I tell you is because primary, or you only probably keep that backup opener come in when Rohit is not available, and as soon as he does play the second test onward, I mean, whatever eventually is the case, then maybe you allow that opener to go back, because anyway the A team will be there, so you can have him stay back for that particular test match and utilize him and then go back. That's one option. But that, even then, if that was the case, that is only filling in for Rohit Sharma. There's no backup opener yet. For a backup opener would mean that you keep both Ishwaran and Gaikwad hypothetically, if Rohit is not around.
Rohit is not there.
So why I feel that they have not been taking a backup opener, which you've not done even in this series, which you could easily have done because they're at home, is because they do have that in mind that if need be, you need a situation like that, then you have a Shubman Gill step up as an opener, also because of the number of middle order batters you have. So you can, in that situation, fit in, if you are still continuing with a KL Rahul, you fit in a Sarfraz then coming in.
But then
But
you
the
again
number 3 issue comes
exactly.
in,
But
na?
then you again, do you ask Virat to bat at 3?
Yeah, well, see, that's the reason they did it. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying I'm agreeing with it. I think the fact that they went into this series with this thought process is telling me that they have said, okay, if in case there is an injury to, again, in this series it would have been Yashasvi Jaiswal who got injured and not Shubman Gill in that test match. You would have most likely seen Rohit and Shubman then come in as opener, in which case Virat then goes there 3. This is their plan. Again, as I said, I was the first one to say that I would not have moved Virat from number 4. I would have wanted him to bat at number 4. This is what I foresee the Indian current
doing.
think tank, which includes your coach and your captain. So this is what they're going to be doing. And even in Australia, I do not see either Gaikwad or Yashasvi Abhimanyu Ishwaran come in. You will probably keep your middle order batters who have not got a chance. So in which case, your Jurel stays as your backup wicket keeper. In which case Devdutt Padikkal, because he's in the team, he got that chance never. He stays within the team. And it's these middle order batters that fill in. And even if you have to drop a KL Rahul, and if Sarfraz has already come in, you even then go with a Devdutt Padikkal. I think that's the mindset that they have, because in their mind, these players, whether it is a Sarfraz, whether it is a Padikkal, whether it is a Jurel, they are ahead of a Gaikwad and an Ishwaran right now to make the team. And if that means adjusting a batting position of sending Gill as an opener, they would do it.
Yeah, I also think that's a very big possibility, but will that risk be taken in Australia? I'm not too sure, because again, Ruturaj Gaikwad not being in the team till now as a test opener, I think is also a very big reason for that is that it was coinciding with the domestic season. You had the Duleep, you had the Rani, while the Indian team was also playing, and the Indian team has always been, they even released players for that Irani after the final test match. So I think that's a very big reason maybe why you were not keeping Ruturaj Gaikwad and sending him here. I think he's going to be the first choice when it comes to have a backup opener in the side.
No, but that is if
Ishwaran-
they have a backup opener.
Yeah, if
I
they
do
have a
not see
backup.
them having a backup
I
opener.
feel I don't know, it's going to be really tough. What you say could definitely be a very big possibility, but I somehow feel that maybe they would just want to keep one backup opener, and that would be Ruturaj Gaikwad, because again Abhimanyu Ishwaran, there are many names, Priyank Panchal.
No, that is you are giving options of backup openers.
Yeah.
I am saying they're not. I think they trust these batters, those middle order batters, more than going with a backup opener. So what they will do is that, listen, Devdutt Padikkal played, got runs, he hasn't got a chance since then. We're making him sit on the bench. Now if an opener is not there, let's say a Rohit is not playing, now a Ruturaj Gaikwad then in your case comes in and plays, whereas maybe a Sarfraz and a Padikkal are still sitting out because you're going with KL. So I think they have this feeling that no, these are the players who've done well for you, whether it's a Jurel or a Padikkal or a Sarfraz, and they need to be accommodated. Whether that means then Gill pushes himself to the opener spot, so be it. We will do, which means a Virat. I think that is the reason they push Virat. I'm repeating, I'm not agreeing with that. But that is the reason they push Virat, because that is going to be their mindset going forward. Whether it works or not is a different debate. Maybe we'll be sitting here after a test match and they've gone with this approach where they pushed a Gill and Gill fails, they pushed a Virat, he fails, and we'll sit here and say, what is this? Why did you have to do it? Gill at number 3 could have, but I think that's the risk that they are.
But that, I
willing
think
to
that's a
take.
very big risk to take in Australia. In India, yeah, you could have done that. Shubman Gill, it was the last moment injury. That's why also you could get in a Virat Kohli at number 3. You wanted to give a longer rope. You wanted to make KL Rahul feel comfortable. But in Australia, to do that,
You tell me, okay, let me ask you it in a different way, okay? I'm making, let's say Rohit Sharma will not be available, okay? Let's say he's not available for the first test match. Which team is looking, which batting order is looking better to you, okay? Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul, Sarfraz Khan, and then your Jadeja, XYZ, whatever bowling. Or cut to second option, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul.
First one.
I
First
don't know. I feel there are a lot of issues in the first one. The first issue being that you're exposing a Rishabh Pant way too soon in Australian conditions when you know he's your number 1 batter. Even though I do understand the team.
No, so you push KL there, and that is a minor thing.
I do understand that the team has full faith in them, but since the time you've gone with the approach.
What
of
number is he batting now?
5.
5.
So you can still have him bat.
For one match, 4 is fine.
I still.
What match did he
Number 4 again.
bat in the last test match when
5,
Virat batted
5,
at 3?
5.
But that also he
No,
was
4 there he batted.
No, he
batted at
came
4.
into bat early now.
because Virat went at 3.
In first innings also, Sarfaraz batted at 4 and he was
Yeah,
out
yeah,
for a
yeah,
match.
yeah,
No, but
Pant was there at 5.
Yeah.
I'm saying against Bangladesh, second test match when you had to force a result.
That was a
That
different
was
scenario.
Rishabh
Na?
Pant.
That was a different scenario.
But in Australia, will the team want to do that? Is it the right thing to do?
See, again, none of us know which is the right thing. I'm just telling you what you foresee, you are saying. Maybe what I foresee, I'm saying. There's no right or wrong answer. How do we know what works or not?
But I do have a feeling that there is one guy who has an outside chance to make it to the BGT squad. It's Sai Sudarshan. And for two
Again,
reasons.
for a backup opener.
Yeah, and
Okay.
for 2 reasons. One, his recent form, you cannot really ignore that. An
Agreed.
80 odd and a 200 in Ranji Trophy, and even the multiple hundreds for Surrey in County. That he scored. So he knows he basically has the exposure of playing in difficult conditions. Now, England's and Australia's conditions are completely different. I completely get that, but at least he has the exposure. So he could be an outside chance.
There's a very high possibility that he doesn't even start for India.
That's also a
Seeing
possibility.
Abhimanyu
Yeah.
Ishan and Ruturaj Gaikwad, both of them opening. So I think Sai Sudarshan is third on the list of backup openers.
Probably.
Okay, next up, openers are done. What is the other thing that it was
Backup
said?
pacer.
Backup pacer. So while I did not agree with a backup opener, I think they may not go with one from that list. Backup pacer, you would have to look at. There are 2 ways of looking at it, by the way. If you look at the India A squad, you may look at it this way, that listen, this is kind of telling me that these guys are out of reckoning. Because if you're bowling 2 back-to-back 4-day games there, and then another one against India, so
think-
3, then you expect them to play 5 test matches. It's a marathon.
I see my net bowlers there, a couple of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is a possibility. But are you priming them? Or the other way is that, okay, fine, they are going to play those games, those 3 games, and then they come into my squad also, even if they're not backup, maybe 1 or at best 2. But then they obviously are your 4th in line or 5th in line who do not get a chance, and on a given day that somebody is injured, you come in, so which allows you to rest a test match or 2. You're not part of the first 2 test match, and then you bring in. That's a possibility. But
Will these be the ones backing? Or I don't think so. I think the ones who would be the backup to your starting fast bowler are going to be the ones going to South Africa for the T20 series in Mayank Yadav, Harshit
so
Rana.
that's what I'm saying. So this is effectively telling you
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
these are the ones who will not go for BGT.
Actually, again, India A has always been in that sense like that, telling the people that you aren't capable for India is India A. To be very honest, very honest, nobody.
Not capable.
Not capable in
We
the
need
fact
a
that
better word
you
there.
cannot make it to the India side. in
Yet.
that sense. I don't think ever.
Arey?
There are many players from the
You,
Indian
are you
side
saying
where
it's curtains
they can-
on the career of
No,
an
no,
Ishan Kishan,
I'm not
Ricky
saying
Bui,
that.
Devdutt Padikkal, Sai Sudarshan, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Abhimanyu? Pack your bag. This is all you go. Your cricketing career is over.
I'm not saying that. See, I'll just give you one example of Ricky Bui. Okay, he scored tons of runs in
Last
the
year.
red ball in last year.
He scored runs in white ball as well.
They have awarded him by sending him to Australia for the India.
Don't, it's a raw now. Do not go to take another example.
Baba Inderjeet.
See now better. Ricky Bui you took now.
But Baba Inderjeet.
Sorry,
now,
also bola.
he's somebody who
He wasn't around that time.
he cannot. Baba Inderjeet.
Acha, you don't
cannot-
know?
No, I know. I was listening to all of those things.
Acha.
We used to have this debate also.
So he knows it.
See, also.
No, let him make his point.
please.
Ah,
Baba
sorry.
Inderjeet, now you know Baba Inderjeet can in that sense not come into the India side until and unless there's something really.
Okay, but
But
why are you
Sarfraz, why
taking such
only-
extreme examples which we also know?
No, but not see again. Most of them. See,
But,
again,
but you just
Mukesh
said
Kumar,
Ruturaj
you know,
is going.
Mukesh Kumar was the Indian team. Now, if he has a very absolutely outstanding season,
What about Yash Dayal? He is on a fast bowling
That's a
contract.
good one actually.
Again, I'm just telling you a couple of names that the majority
This,
of
you know what this tells me? What by the way, seeing Yash
No.
Dayal, what this tells me is that Yash Dayal is your left arm seamer who is now ahead of an Arshdeep also.
No, you have
Exactly.
Khalil also.
This is my takeaway.
No, I agree.
Khalil is also
I
that
agree.
side.
No,
Which side?
This side,
no,
India, side.
he's there.
No, Arshdeep.
Arshdeep,
Arshdeep.
was in the
So
red
now
ball things.
this tells me Arshdeep's red ball is almost done.
Arshdeep was never
No,
in the red ball
that's
things.
no. My one thing you answer. You said that the first thing you pick that everyone who's gone here is not going to be part of the India team.
Yeah.
But then you're saying that Yash Dayal-
Majority.
No, you said everyone.
Majority.
I asked that.
Acha, who are those players? I
No,
want to
in
know.
bowlers when I asked fast bowlers, I asked you that Gulati raised the point that a backup fast bowlers. I said there
Yeah.
are two ways of looking at it. One, yes, maybe one or two of them give you some form and then you take them. Or the other way of looking at it is that the fact that you're going to be bowling them 3 back-to-back matches is kind of telling them, listen, you're out of the race for BGT. You agreed that it's the second point, that they're all out of the race. But the fact is, in Yash Dayal's case, he was almost on the verge of making his.
He got his call up very recently.
But it got dropped
Test match.
in the next series. It's in the next test match only.
He was almost on the verge of being part of the 11, I think, in
Yeah.
the Bangladesh series.
Yes,
also.
he was.
And
He
then
was.
you
left
sent
in the
him
morning,
last
no?
moment. Yeah, you sent him last
So
moment.
did Sarfraz
No, there was
for the
also
Irani couple.
For Irani,
Yeah.
they left for Irani,
But
exactly.
they were just in the squad.
No,
Arey, but-
no. In Yash's case, they were actually contemplating whether they get him into the 11 or not.
Yes.
They needed a left arm fast bowler, so they waited on it. Once they took a call, so all I'm telling you is that it was very close for him also to have played. Now here's a player who is very close to have played that India team. Now is he completely out of contention? The fact that he's going for India A or no?
No, again, I'm saying out of the all people, I think at match 2 or 3 people are the people.
By the way, there is a Nitish Reddy as well over there.
That's why I said 2 or 3.
Okay,
Okay,
who are
name
those
the
2,
two,
3?
three.
Ruturaj Gaikwad by
Nitish
default.
Reddy and one fast
Abhimanyu
bowler.
Iswaran.
No,
you're-
absolute. If you
No,
really
he's-
think at
he's
this point,
put-
Abhimanyu Iswaran can come back into this Indian side, it's highly
Okay,
unlikely.
you go with whatever.
Three players who can go
Gaikwad,
from Gaikwad,
Reddy,
Nitish Reddy, and Yash Dayal.
Only 3 players out of this.
Who else do you think is going to?
Of these 16,
Of
you
these
only
16
see
players.
these 3
Yeah.
players getting
Yeah.
another India cap, if at all,
Yeah.
or their first cap
No,
as well.
I don't I think there is going to be all likelihood. I will name a player who will be ahead of all of them in the team is with Devdutt Padikkal. He will definitely make the BGT squad. He is not played. He got that run. He's part of the team, and he gets dropped from Bahar se.
I'm telling. I would add Yash Dayal to that list as well.
There's a possibility.
As much as I want Devdutt
What about
Padikkal in the
Purel?
squad.
You fancy Purel so much?
No, I still agree. Okay, they are far away from selection. I agree. Let's
Ishan
be realistic.
Kishan.
It's basically an India second team.
Ishan
People
Kishan.
and they will just sort of Ishan Kishan again. Do you see him coming into
Why
the
not?
Test team? No way.
Tough.
I think
But
he's just that.
It
Not
could
being
be
realistic.
I am
It
saying,
Be an
but
injury replacement.
But 10, I'm saying over the next 10 months, do I not see him making a return?
No, that's
I
another
do.
thing. We are only
That's
talking
a
about
different
BGT, Harshit.
No,
and
not
then-
BGT, I agree.
So we are just sticking to BGT
BGT
right now.
just 3
No,
players I
but
see.
going back to what you were saying, ki this is what you get. India A means
Yeah,
this
it
is.
is the second fiddle team to the India team.
You're confusing it. He's saying for BGT
Yeah.
there is no chance. Not saying who says their careers are done. For BGT, I agree. There is. They're going to be. I think Devdutt Padikkal. I think will be ahead
Yeah.
of him. But Gulati disagrees. What is?
See, I said that as much as I even want Devdutt Padikkal in that squad, first of all, I think the management are seeing him more as a middle order option. He could be a backup opener also, but I feel
No,
that
middle
they'll
order,
sink him.
yeah.
Yeah, because he batted at number 4 or 5
Yes,
in that
middle order,
Dharamshala
yeah.
test also. So just from that perspective, I feel a certain Ishwaran, or in my case, what I have thought is that Sai Sudarshan would be ahead of anyone for the backup
Opener slot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, but I think what Sir is saying that he's Devdutt Padikkal is
He's
for
going
the
to be ahead
middle
of
order.
everyone.
No, because he's seeing him as a middle order batter. That's why.
But you already have a lot of options in the middle
Because
order.
other than Devdutt Padikkal, there is nobody else. from
But
the
I don't
Indian
look
team.
at Devdutt Padikkal as a backup opener either. I'm
Okay.
looking
as a
at him
backup middle order.
as a backup
So would you
middle
keep
order.
him in the team?
See, if I do have a Sarfraz, maybe not.
No, Devdutt Padikkal is.
You already have Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant, Sarfaraz Khan and Dhruv Jurel.
Dhruv Jurel.
If there are as many as 5
There are
options in the middle
there
order,
are two backup.
would I want a 6th one in Devdutt Padikkal? I'm not really sure about it. But would I want a Sai Sudarshan as a backup opener? I don't mind.
And maybe you would have a backup batter in Nitish Reddy also. If
Nitish
he makes
Reddy
it to
is
the team.
not really a backup batter.
If he makes it, no,
he
and
could
that's
very well
his-
be your answer to a number 8 conundrum that
Yeah.
you have in overseas test matches.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to touch upon another subject, which is, by the way, when you're picking India squad, I want to ask the producer, don't you put the captain's image? You put Ishan Kishan image.
Ishan Kishan
He's the
is
biggest
the news,
star.
is the newsmaker.
Newsmaker. Okay, so now I get it. So he's the bigger star, the bigger
Then
No,
the
not
then the
the-
CSK captain.
than the CSK captain.
This is
It's not about big or small stars. It's about there is no picture. Or
You have just ruined it for us.
exactly.
Even if that was the excuse, you could have just kept it to yourself.
Exactly.
Did you see the reel that was sent on the
खोदा
group?
पहाड़ निकली चुई यार.
Yes.
So that's where we are also wrong. No? We are wrong PR.
So just so that, please share it. No, there is a reel about this Netflix series
Can we?
um,
You haven't seen it?
called. No, I'm not showing. Yeah, relax. There is a Netflix series, Bollywood Vibes. A new season is coming, in which there is a clip about them discussing new cricketer, and they're discussing Shubman Gill, and they're getting the pronunciation wrong and the name wrong. That has, for some reason, and I don't understand, has upset Shashwat. So what's wrong if they are discussing Shubman Gill, and you are going to a level that why are they not discussing Jaiswal? What is the? I mean, what is the logic? Then why are they not discussing Avesh Khan? Why are they not discussing Khalil Ahmed? Why are they not discussing? If they're discussing
Their
one player.
reason for discussing Shubman, that's the whole thing.
So
na?
their reason for discussion, which is upset Shashwat, is that why are they discussing him by cute? So please tell me, what have you seen that show? What is that show about?
Yeah.
It's a frivolous show which only talks about
Frivolous
social status, brands, things, who's cute. That's what the show is. So what are they going to do? You are looking at it from the point of view of a cricket connoisseur. How can you only discuss Shubman but not Yashashvi? He's also. Arey bhai, they are not. If they were analyzing a post-match show, they were doing like us, and they did not discuss Yashashvi's batting and only Shubman. It's a page 3 show. You know what a page 3 show is? It's about glamour, social. Of course, they're going to discuss. And secondly, there will always be the case. It's not in this sport. There are certain guys who are cute or attractive or whatever, and they garner attention, but it's not in the cricketing universe,
But
right?
for that
But
you
in
don't
the
need-
other universe, they do. And so, if there is an ex-player who's, quote unquote, conventionally good looking or whatever, he's going to garner that attention, which is separate from whatever player he may be. What's wrong with
But
that? What is
that should not
unusual
be
in it?
mixed. The only thing that I just thought was a little weird was that I feel that then that should not reflect in the cricketing that sense, because.
But
because
are they are they test players
they
like
are-
you?
No, they aren't test players. What I'm trying to
If
say.
if there was a reel of 10 test players only saying, wow, Shubman is so cute, Shubman is, then I would agree that what is this? You are players, you judge a player by how he bats and then you discuss that. Are they test cricketers?
That's not the thing.
They
This
are
is how the T&'s thing
social-
starts now. This is the
Arey, but you're
beginning
not,
of that.
yes, but the thing is they themselves, okay, the fact that they don't even know his real name, they don't know whether it's Shubham or Shubham or whatever they are saying, 5 different names, that itself tells you that they are not in the cricketing universe. They are just casual outside fans. There is, okay, I'll just tell you, take you back a few years. There were so many players, right? When India was doing well at that time, the same set of people. In those time, you would have had other, now we call them influencers. They were page 3 people on the page 3 of newspaper. You would 15 years ago ask them, they would say Sachin, we only know Sachin, he's so good. No, half of them would not know VVS Lakshman. Does that make VVS Lakshman any less of a player? The thing is that circle.
In the whole broader perspective of it, that's a very big reason why not Sachin, but Shubman Gill could become, why he's being termed as the next prince in that sense. I think many reasons are off field also for that. That's with any player because it's also about more marketing and more branding of a player also.
Of course, but
Yes,
that's what I'm trying to
But
say.
what's the correlation there?
Exactly, I cannot. He's upset.
Why
Why
are you
is
upset?
Shubman? Why are those women, the hoity-toity social stars, discussing Shubman? Why are they not saying Yashasvi? Because they are casual fans. That's what I said. If it was like a reel made of players talking about the future big star, and they only kept saying Shubman, I think he's best because he's cute, then I would also find it awkward. Yeah, that you're a cricket analyst, you have to assess a player based on his thing. They're not. They probably would have not seen a match. There are certain fans who only watch India when they're playing a World Cup match.
Yeah.
They don't even watch when it's Test cricket. They don't even watch bilateral series. Nothing. World Cup match because it's a big match, or India Pakistan.
Or India Pakistan. Yeah.
That's it.
My
What else
whole
will you
point, my whole again.
Don't be upset with them.
No, I'm not upset with them.
Yeah.
My whole point of this is that if we keep a Shubman and Yashasvi together, maybe if we just go as per the game, maybe Yashasvi would be 10 steps ahead or maybe 5 steps ahead.
No,
But-
that's also not a fair
I'm
statement to make.
I'm just giving an example. 10
But
years
if
down the line.
if in cricket he becomes 10 steps ahead, in our discussions he will get that.
In
across.
our
So
discussions,
that's what
yes.
but that's what matters. No, all cricketing discussion. Even for the casual thing, again they will keep talking about
I just
another
think
player.
that this is just the again.
See, you go into football also, there will be a lot of players who are very good. In the footballing universe, they will talk about who's very good or not. But there is a casual universe outside it, which is
I'll
brand
give you an
conscious.
example here.
They'll talk about.
He doesn't even feature in the Man City 11 at the moment, and he's one of the only couple of players in the entire
I will give you a better example.
who has a deal with Gucci, Jack Grealish.
I will give you a better example. That example features Shashwat. Shashwat produces a show called Sport and Spice. Please tell me how many top athletes you feature in that show.
I featured Shubman Gill, Mahendra Singh Dhoni also in
what
that.
did you
Why
talk
did you feature? You feature a lot of women athletes in that show. Some of them never won medal at any level.
No. I have changed that.
Did you not feature Yashasvi in that?
Yes. Why no?
I'll put Yashasvi also the day he put something.
Whatever.
viral, like, in
No,
that
you
sense.
don't put anything like that. Have you putting our javelin thrower Navdeep in that show? Have you put him ever in
Am
that
I
show?
allowed to do that? I'll definitely.
I'm
do
just
that.
saying, you are making that show Sport and Spice, so you're doing it differently. So that is what I'm saying. That is a separate show with a separate audience.
What I understand is that if the Indian audience wants another star in that sense, it's not just about the game, it's all other factors also come in. Because of that, somebody like a Yashasvi in that sense cannot become that big.
That's not true, by the way. If he becomes a big player, he will become a
bigger
big
this
player.
thing.
That he will. Okay, I wanted to ask a question about Ishan Kishan, his selection. Does that mean the exile is over?
Yeah.
The return is close.
Return is close.
Very close.
But why the exile? They've ended Ishan's exile after repenting. They are now finally okay with him. He's played domestic cricket. He's done whatever they asked him to. But why the exile for
Shreyas.
is not over?
He hasn't done anything to make a comeback in that sense.
He is playing here.
No,
and
he
he-
scored a century now.
started to do.
145, but Ishan Kishan scored one in Duleep. Then
there
he
was
scored
Ishan has
one in
two
Irani
Babu.
also.
Ishan has
Ruchi
two
Babu
hundreds in the
also.
last 5 matches that he's
Yeah,
played.
and a couple
And I
of
think
50s also.
this
No, I want to know. So this selection not happened because of performance or because he needs to do a few things more for the punishment to end.
No, I think it's because
Punishments.
now he's played 7 or 8, 7
So the punishment time is over. Now if he performs, he can come back.
Yeah,
That's the same.
Absolutely,
What
absolutely,
went in
yeah.
favor of Ishan Kishan was also being a wicketkeeper in that sense. If maybe he was just a batter, maybe he would not have made it to the
And
side. That would
also,
have been
I think when he
different.
was asked by one of the reporters that you had said it very categorically that when you had a back issue while playing Test cricket, no one listened to you, even the board did not listen. He's like, let bygones be bygones.
He has not said things
See, I
you
don't.
guys have made this narrative.
I never had the back issue.
Is what is,
The
this is
daddy
called
won't say.
falling in line. Or BCCI,
It's
the
created by
big
you guys.
daddies.
Even Washington Sundar not being
So you
in
can take a aggressive stance or retort back to the press.
Or
But
maybe
you can't do it when it comes from the
tops.
Board of Control for Cricket in India. The name is also apt. Like everywhere else, it's Cricket Australia.
Yeah. New Zealand cricket.
New Zealand Cricket
England and Wales Cricket Board.
Board. Here it is Board of Control. They put that word.
Board
of Control for Cricket in India. It could be Board of Cricket in India.
Yeah.
No, Board of Control for Cricket.
Is there
Well
any
thought.
history behind this name?
History is there was a name right
Conceived.
from the start and it's continued. Yes. Okay, Shivam, can we take a few questions? Arey? You had everything ready and turned everything off. Why? Okay, Rakesh Bhushan. It's a good headache having so many talent at the same long window to a player is not given. Player has to graduate, perform quickly because all are banging on the doors. Is this a good thing? Okay, so what Rakesh is asking that when you have so many talented players, why are you giving a long rope?
See, because I believe, and I think if the question is pertinently about KL Rahul, then because that's the one time we mentioned a long rope being given in this conversation to a player,
Yes.
then I think at every point in a cricketer's life, there will come times where as a board you need to back. You will always, otherwise, you will constantly be in that zone of changing players and there won't be a settled 11 ever. This is not how any sport works. Sport works by taking a punt at times. Those players give you rewards at times. Times they don't give you those rewards. And when they don't give you rewards, but you still believe they have it in them to do better for you, that's when you back them. And it's true. We've seen it in the past. We've heard it on camera from captains as well that certain players will get an extra longer rope, certain players will not. KL Rahul, I believe, is one of those who has gotten an extra rope. And
No, but is it good or not, this idea, if there are so many talented players?
I think it's horses for courses.
Also, I feel that when you're looking at giving someone a long rope or not is not dependent on how many people I have sitting out. I think, majority countries, yes, India is a bit more blessed right now than other countries in terms of backup, but every country has a backup or two. You just saw Pakistan, which is struggling for talent. They removed a few players, they got backups. So the backups are always there. There are enough players playing first class cricket in every country to replace. I think it's more so about that player itself. I always tell people, put yourself in that player's shoes, and if you work very hard to reach a certain place, you've had an up and down sort of a thing, then it's basically deciding his future. Should you do it in a jiffy or should you give time? That decision also can vary from maybe for Gulati it could be giving time, could be XYZ matches. For me it will be different, for him everyone different. But whatever the people in charge, and that's why each person's opinion changes, you should give it that shot. Once you think it's not good enough, you move forward.
See, I don't know whether it's a good thing or not, but it's definitely the right thing to do to give an extended rope to Rahul, because if they obviously want to give it, because you haven't been fair to Rahul. He has batted at multiple positions across those 53, 54 test matches. Maybe, give him another 4-5 matches at that fixed spot and then you take a call.
No, this I don't absolutely.
He has always said yes to everything. You want to,
because he had no other option. When you're not performing, if I can't fit here, I'll try to fit here.
it's not about not performing.
It's about that. He would not have gotten 53 test matches if he wasn't switching on different positions.
See, during the Kohli captaincy era,
He was.
No one
He's
had
not
a
been
fixed
back.
position.
No, that
Fixed
is-
position, there was no fixed 11.
But people played. The KL Rahul was back then also. He played in most of the games. It was Ravindra Jadeja, KL Rahul who played most of the games then also. Now also he's being given a longer rope. But I don't ever ready to buy this that he's not being given a position on a specific number. That I think that doesn't make sense to me, because one middle order and opening can be different. But slotting players in the middle order is completely a different thing. And he has gotten 53 test matches. That is only a very big thing in itself. With such the kind of average he has and few centuries he's gotten in Sena countries and all of that, he's gotten those opportunities. But now again, to start that long rope because he's getting settled at a fixed number, that I don't
A
agree.
player usually tends to bring out his best when he is given that consistency.
But how much consistency should be given? Na 50,
There was
100
no-
test matches he'll play like this only.
There was no specific place that
No,
we
but
want to
many
stick with
players
you. That,
did
that was not the case.
Many players did not have a specific. If Sarfaraz would have failed in this test match, you would have wanted to give KL Rahul an even longer rope. But Sarfaraz also in that sense did not get the same position. He got to bat in the
That
lower.
was just a one-off.
No, why? In his case, it's a one-off. KL Rahul has been he came in as a wicket keeper. Then was it for his convenience? Otherwise, he wasn't coming into the Indian side ever. In the test, he was dropped. He came back as a wicket keeper in South Africa. That was his convenience. Now you cannot say na that it's not fair on him.
He was the wicket keeper in South Africa because you wanted an extra batter who was more able and talented than a Shrikar Bharat.
Yeah, then why then suddenly, if he would not have scored runs in that test match, what would have he done in the next test match?
He would have been persisted with.
As a wicketkeeper, even if Rishabh
Why
Pant
not?
was coming back.
That was a different
He
case
decided to
altogether.
leave
Na?
wicket keeping because he scored those runs, to be very honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. Rakesh Bhushan asks, in your timeout episode, players who have underachieved, I would love to hear from Nikhil about his views on Ambati Rayudu. Very good shout out, Rakesh. I think it's a good point, maybe a player that we could have spoken about, because I remember Ambati Rayudu also. I covered him, in fact, I reminded him when he was an under 19 captain. So, it was Sachin Tendulkar's birthday, and the team was here in Delhi. And we had to do a small, feature of players celebrating, and the players were celebrating the under 19. So we went and they cut a cake. Sachin was got. So from that time to where he reached, him, one of the most talented batters ever. He was. I mean, it's funny we were talking about the next Sachin Tendulkar today about another cricketer. He was also considered that because that's how good he was as a stroke player. Aggressive, gifted. I think the whole career. One, he was temperamental. I think that then the fights that he started having with Hyderabad Cricket Association, and he was not the one to take a step back. I think that affected his career. Then going to ICL, then that affected his career by a few more years. But a very good shout out, Ambati Rayudu, outstanding player. I think yes, I agree. He should be an underachiever. With that talent, he should have achieved far more. Sadanand Vishwanath, that's another good one. I remember him as the wicketkeeper when India won the World Series of Cricket 1985, one of my favorite tournaments. And I've often said it, for me, it was even a better team than the 1983 World Cup. That's how good they were. They were a different team under a different captain. Sunil Gavaskar was captain. He was the wicketkeeper there. What I hear about him is from Karnataka, big hitter, wicketkeeper batter who used to really tonk the ball. Like in domestic cricket, people talk about balls going out of the stadium. That's how good. But at a very short span, I think played 3-odd games, 4-5 games for India, not more than that. 3 test match and a few ODIs, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember how many matches, but very few. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I remember that his parents passed away in a very short span, and that took a toll on him mentally, and he was never the player again. So that's the bit I remember about Sadanand Vishwanathan. But I remember people in domestic cricket talk highly of him, and from the 85 series. Lakshman Shivaramakrishnan, another bowler who was there in the 85 series. He actually is quite similar to the player that we discussed in Narendra Hirwani. Quite similar, both leg spinners. He was very instrumental in India winning that 85 champion of champions. So, yeah,
Later
good
took
shout
to
out.
umpiring as well, right?
Yeah, he commentator now.
Yeah.
Now to but
I don't know about his umpiring as much. Maninder Singh did do umpiring for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, but now he is there.
Now also, he's also a commentator, right? Maninder.
Yes.
But
yes.
not with the main. I
No,
think
he
small
did it for the
leagues.
broadcaster also, on and off.
he
But
does it for the
Lakshman
leagues also.
Shivaramakrishnan far more often than that, because he's doing it for BCCI. Yes. They call him, his teammates used to call him Muscles. Even now they call him Muscles whenever, he's very thin and lanky. It's just like when I did the session with Navdeep where he said that they used to call me Lambu.
Lambu.
It's quite similar. They used to call
muscles.
Muscles. Yeah.
Muscle.
So another player that I think they used to, Venkatpati Raju also. So they used to call muscles, if I'm not mistaken.
Mayank Gupta says that Pujara should be considered for the BGT. He was the real hero for the last 2 BGT wins. Pant Kohli stole all the credit. Gill and Jaiswal were horrible in South Africa. Rohit in Australia. Okay.
Pujara
But
scored a double century.
Jaiswal, I won't be very critical about. It was just his first time in South Africa. Point number 1. Yes, the jury is out. He maybe could have negotiated better with the ball bouncing on him. And though the second test match was just atrocious conditions. So let's not judge any batter as to how Australia or how that South Africa tour was. But Pujara again, there's no point
Pujara
that
is showing what he can do again.
I know he scored a 234 or something.
Yeah, and he's played close to 400 deliveries.
No, there was never really any doubt
Yeah,
about
yeah.
his stamina of
But
being
not
on the
coming
pitch,
back
scoring.
in the team, not
But
a
because the team made a decision that you're moving past both him and Jinx. And now this actually, it's like crying over spilt milk. Now it's gone. Why even think about it so much?
Okay, Madhav has a question. Your top 3 ODI openers of all time and why? His are Rohit Sharma, Sachin Tendulkar and Adam Gilchrist. All these guys have performed superb on World Cup as well, especially Rohit.
Top 3 openers.
ODI openers of all time.
Yeah.
No, Indian or overall?
All time.
Overall?
Yeah.
ODI openers, very tough, yeah.
Very tough.
Very, very tough. Adam Gilchrist, Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly,
Rohit Sharma.
Rohit Sharma,
Even
yeah.
Virender Sehwag will qualify.
No, not ODI, not ODI, not ODI. I'm going test more,
Test?
not ODI. These are just some. I mean, of course, my favorite when I started watching cricket, Desmond Haynes and Gordon Greenidge. Greenidge ahead of Haynes, by the way. Oh my God. You know, because that team had many superstars, so like the team had Viv, so you know you've kind of never looked at. But Greenidge could murder bowlers. Probably the greatest opening player
Sana
of all time.
Jayasuriya?
Sana Jayasuriya, what a name.
There's
yeah,
Hayden
right,
as well.
Yeah, I was going to say Matthew.
There's just
Alistair
too
Cook.
much. No, not in ODIs.
ODIs.
I'm talking about
We can
ODIs.
talk about Test cricket, but
Test. ODIs.
There are lots of
Shikhar
them.
Dhawan? No, not all time.
Just a lot of them. Tough to, we can do another episode, Madhav, on that. Karthik K from the US says, Gaikwad deserves a place over Devdutt, Sai Sudarshan and others. He can handle pace, bounce, and I believe he can handle Nathan Lyon better than others. And Shashwat, he feels is right about KLR. Who was that? That is CLR James. You know who CLR James is?
Yeah.
Who is he? Today is your homework. You will do it. You are cricket should know. KLR, you know. Now you will find out CLR James.
Kedar is my favorite now.
Okay, last couple of comments before we wind up. Sarat Chandra is saying, why are we underestimating our own team every time we did versus England in T20 World Cup, now versus Australia? If a team is winning last 2 times and are underdogs, I suppose we aren't that supportive. But I don't think we've really underestimated the team. But we, you know, at least I personally have waited to take a call on that because, you know, let the time for BGT come. We'll have enough of our sessions so we can really.
the batting isn't really giving us that confidence.
Yeah, but I think, you know, as of now, I've not even said which team has the edge. I want to hold my horses because there is enough time. No? There is like 20 days, we will keep discussing this only. So we will get into the nitty gritties. So right now to say they were underestimating is also not true. You're right, they're going in as the defending winners from not only overall, but twice winning
And
in
Australia has
Australia.
more problems to deal with as far as opening slot is concerned.
Sure.
If they have to call back a David
Now,
Warner.
no, but they are not calling back. Warner is saying,
Warner is,
I want to come back.
Warner's to made himself available for 25 CT as well.
Champions.
Yeah.
He just loves cricket a lot. Doesn't want to
He
keep.
loves attention.
Yeah.
No. I think
No,
cricket. No, I don't think he's that sort.
But
At
that's
least-
his opinion.
Yeah, I'm just telling you mine too.
You've spoken to him.
No.
You know him very well. Okay. Anshu is saying KL Rahul has the second worst average for players to have batted in. Yeah, we know
Is
that.
This this must be the 100th time that
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stat has been
We have
thrown at
Anshu
us.
discussed that.
Yeah.
But he obviously is not a fan of KL, and he's saying he's the worst ever and should be done with. By the way, he's getting a lot of hate on social media. You should stay away, is my only suggestion to him. Okay, GGK is saying Shashwat is upset that he was not considered the cute guy. That's the only thing, Shubman, so he was upset. Should I say Shashwat? But that, I don't know, they have not started watching sports today yet. Na? And they did not see cricket when he was playing test cricket for India. So.
Yeah, Ian Bell and Underachievers.
No, not Ian.
Karthik
100
K,
test
no,
matches. Yeah, come on, Karthik.
No. Lance
Ian Bell can't
Klusener.
be. Not also underachiever. No. He did well. He was a very good player, all-rounder, but he did well for what he was suited to do.
But more of an ODI guy anyway.
No, but test also.
And
test
best
also.
cover drives. One of the best cover drives.
Do you want another discussion on that?
No.
Ian Bell is
Ian Bell.
Ian Bell.
Yeah.
Achha, I got confused.
Yeah, Ian Bell had one of the
I thought you had another question. Who had the best cover drive? I was like, this is another topic.
That we have to have a timeout on that, na?
Yeah,
I have many
we
surprising
were thinking
names.
we will do one on that.
Okay, Freaking Awesome says, I think they will either pick Ruturaj or Sai Sudarshan as a backup opener. Abhimanyu Ishwaran hasn't made his international debut yet. Making him play in BGT straight away may not be a good idea for his career. Okay, valid point.
Career
Now,
to whatever is left now for the poor guy.
okay, yeah, if there is a career.
If there is a career.
Rahul says Australia's fast bowling unit is too good as compared to India. They have Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood and Boland, while India have Bumrah, Siraj, Akashdeep and maybe Shami, which also looks very good, by the way. Final comment, Web of Tarangi says Conway and Rachin overshadowed Will Young in the first test. He played crucial knocks in both the innings. Looked scratchy in the first, but played a clutch.
Agreed.
Web of valid points. Thank you for all your comments. All interesting as always. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it that you come every evening, join us for our discussion. And also give your valuable suggestions in the comment sections. Only thing we request you to do is give us a like on our videos. That would mean a lot to us. And yeah, take care. Bye bye.
Subscribe as well if you haven't already.
Tomorrow is another day.
Tomorrow will be T-1, right? For the test.
Yeah.
Yes.
It will be. So tomorrow we'll
11.
11.
Again, that's why I was not contributing to KL discussion because we've done it 2 days. Now one more day it will come. Tomorrow also it will happen.
So
na?
tomorrow we make the 11.
Tomorrow I am off, na? So I
There is a
Good one.
16th player to consider tomorrow. There's a Washington Sundar who's been added to the squad. So let's see if he makes it to the 11 tomorrow. You know the topic already.
And
so
when
don't.
Ryan Descartes was asked that is it a desperate move, he's like, no, not at all.
He sent on press conferences very often.
But I like the fact that
Yeah,
he was
he-
not,
he spoke,
I don't
yeah.
know, we'll
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about it. At least he came up and
yeah.
spoke.
Last
It is for
time also he
the it is for the coach and the
Captain
captain to decide.
Bill, then what are you doing here? Good, he answered. Good on you, man.
He comes.
Ryan Tendoshkarte, really
Last
liked
time
it.
also his PC was really nice.
Yeah, like it. Take care, good night, bye bye, Nandri.
Shubh Ratri, Shab Bakhair, eat your vegetables.
And don't trouble your mothers.